Hello and welcome back to Tekken 7. So as you can see in the bottom right hand corner we have our second pack of DLC, which of course is Geese Howard, who is a guest character. Similar to Akuma from Street Fighter, if you followed my series of Tekken 7. Only problem is he doesn't have an episode. So he's literally just been put in. You can play him and everything else apart from story mode, which I think is a bit dumb personally. Because I've actually would have quite liked it to see him in an episode, even though I've never played Fatal Fury. I don't even know who Geese Howard is. I mean, I've read up a little bit about him. So I think it would have been kind of cool if he had an episode. He could have changed things up a little bit, but sadly he doesn't. So I've had a little bit of practice with him. I will say, hands down, he's probably one of the most difficult characters. He's definitely for the advanced Tekken players, which, even though I've been playing this game for 10 years, I'm not one of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a simple arcade battle playthrough, which I think is about 4 or 5 rounds, and just kind of show off what Geese Howard is like and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute then.
Get ready for the next battle.
Right, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Alyssa, of course it is. Brilliant. So look, even as you can see with the super special move, that is pretty complicated, and I'm pointing at the screen and you can't see me. But yeah, Geese Howard is a little bit complicated, but I've got a couple of combos and stuff up my sleeve, but you probably will see me spamming the same move over and over again simply because I haven't really played with him before. As you can see, I've got no wins with him so far, so there might be a couple of restarts on this try, but we'll see.
Come on. This might be amusing. Round 1. Fight.
So I can tell you off the bat that he is very powerful. I mean, it is ridiculous, but then Lisa's she's pretty good as well. Right, I'm on my rage, so I might use my rage art. Pretty cool. Bit underwhelming, but you know.
Round 2. Fight.
But there's, I think that's with some of the rage arts in this game. They're very hit and miss. I also forgot to mention that along with Geese Howard, there's also a new stage called the Howard Estate, which is actually pretty cool, and I think it's got a rendition of his theme tune from Fatal Fury. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Although I would have quite liked it if we did have an episode, because it doesn't explain in the trailer that you see for him. There's a bit where he's it's in black and white, and he's falling. It looks like he's fallen off a building or something. And I was kind of hoping, oh, we get an episode, and that might explain what happens. And you know, in his trailer, the beginning bit, he kind of meets with Heihachi and kind of thing. But no, you don't get an episode, but you do get a video in the gallery for it, which is basically the trailer. So yeah, it's a bit crappy to say the least. But because when was he announced? Like in July, August time. And it's now November. So you would have thought that the developers were spending all that time maybe creating an episode for him, but no. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but it's kind of cool to have a character that I don't really know very well from a game that I don't know very well. And I guess it's quite nice to just have a bit of a break from Tekken characters. But as I said when I first played this game, I was really disappointed of how stripped bare it was compared to other games. But let's not get into that. Let's just carry on and defeat Eddie, hopefully. Okay, I'm guessing. Well, I know for a fact when I get to the final boss, whoever it may be, I'm probably going to have to do it twice, because that always happens with me when I do arcade battle. Just, I haven't played this game for a while either. When was the last time I played this game? Probably a couple of weeks ago.
Give in to your fears.
Because I'm currently doing my arcade playthrough of every character. So just get some monies, try and get some customization items and stuff. And I'm going against Panda. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, as I said, I don't really know much about Geese Howard, apart from the fact that he seems just as twisted as Heihachi is, to be honest. I know he's married, he has a son, and he hates his son for whatever reason. Presumably he died at some point, so that might explain that that bit in the trailer where he's falling off a building or whatever. Right, I've had enough of this now. So yeah, like I said, never played Fatal Fury. I might do after this. Like, I might see if I can find it or something, and see if maybe I'll do like a little let's play thingy on it if I can. I think it's a bit of an old one. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
Damn it, Panda. Oh, and the power bar resets every time. I didn't realise that. That's alright.
KO.
Cool. He's got a lot of scars on him as well, a bit like Kazuya does, which is a bit strange, to be honest. Yeah, and we're going up against Heihachi now, because he's the sub-boss. So, oh, it's been a busy week. So, Heihachi's the sub-boss, and then it's either Akuma or Kazumi who's going to be the final boss for the arcade battle, which is really interesting.
Cute.
Although one of the things I do like about Tekken 7 is that kind of the intros that the kind of like the new ones that are very interactive and very cinematic, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Heihachi's gonna beat me fair and square, I know it. Yeah. Rage up. Oh, I missed! Bugger. Okay. Probably gonna have to redo this one, but that's fine. Oh. Okay, rage out again. Hopefully I don't miss this time. Nah, good. That's actually a pretty good, like, finishing rage art. Like, some of them are. I did not do that on purpose. That was a complete accident. I'm literally just mutton bashing, I'll be honest. I don't do it very much with Tekken. But when it's a character I don't know. Oh, we've got Kazumi. Cool. At the Devil's Pit. God, I forgot about that. Man, I'm going to have to go back and watch the cinematics, I think, after this. I do miss Tekken. I am hoping Tekken 8 will be announced in the future. But Hadara did say that, because I think, I know I've asked, but a lot of other people have asked where are all the classic characters. And he simply said that I think one of the reasons why this game sucks, to a certain extent, is because they've got a lower budget compared to their other games, so they haven't had as much time or money to do as much as they want. So I think that's why a lot of the classic characters are missing. But Hadara, who's basically the director of this game, didn't rule out having some of the classic characters return as long as the game's being supported. And to be honest, Tekken 7 was actually really well supported. I saw a lot, I think I put this in my review as well, I saw a lot of non-Tekken fans actually buying it and stuff, which was pretty cool. It's quite nice to see a game that you love get popular. But yeah, So we might get some classic characters as well, which would be quite cool. Right, here we go. We're going to get Devil Kazumi. Once it loads, there we go. I love the costume for Devil Kazumi. It's so good. It's very much based on like Japanese folklore
Round two.
of
Fight.
demons and stuff like that. So it's very cool. Because I saw a lot of non-Tekken fans go, she looks a bit like Naruto. It's like, yeah, well, Naruto's based off of demons and folklore, in Japanese folklore. So, oh, I hate that move that she does. Oh, right, rage art time. Probably gonna miss. She's gonna block it. Oh no, she didn't. That's usually what happens. There we go, perfect.
You win.
Sorry, Kazumi. I really like you as a character, but I had to kill you. Yeah, she turns into sparkling bright light, which a lot of the Tekken bosses actually do, don't they? I know Ogre did. Quite a few times, actually. Because he's been in the game quite a few times. And there we have it. There is my little
Game over.
Geese Howard arcade playthrough, I guess, because sadly there's no episode. So yeah, that's just come out. We've also had a trailer for the second character, because Hidara announced there's going to be 2 other guest characters. The other one, which I'm very excited for, is Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, so I'm very, very excited for that. I'm sad because there's probably not going to be an episode like there is for Geese Howard, but the fact that I get to play one of my favourite Final Fantasy characters in one of my favourite games is just going to be amazing. They've announced that he's not going to be there until like spring 2018, so we've got a little while yet until then. There might be some more DLC, hopefully. Like I said, Hidara said that he wants the game to be supported more, so that we can actually have more stuff in Tekken 7, which would be really good. So yeah, that's that. Very short and sweet, but kind of shows off what Geese Howard is like. As I said in the beginning, very advanced character, very hard to master, I reckon. So if you do, you're going to have to put a lot of hours into it and be very good at your double dashing. There's a lot of his moves composed of double dashing. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.